Hey, happy Sunday evening from my basement workstation. So you can see all my ventilation system behind me. I hope that you are having a great weekend, relaxing and getting some de-stressing. I'm excited to come back on live streaming. I just got approved for live streaming for LinkedIn live stream after over a year of requesting it. So I wanted to jump on tonight and talk about one of the area that I've been talking about, which is the chronic stress and how chronic stress affect our well-being and health and life. There are a lot of people having chronic health issues, especially over the last year and a half with this pandemic, and a lot of us are suffering uh, mood issue, sleep, anxiety, GI dysfunction, etc. So I wanted to talk about how stress is affecting those areas because a lot of people think that okay, I got a diarrhea, I'm gonna take anti-diarrhea, and I got constipation, I'm gonna take laxative, I got heartburn, I'm gonna take an acid and etc. And we're just all treating the symptom. Meantime, we're not really doing anything about the stress that creating all these different health issues. Anxiety, heart palpitation, high blood pressure, sleep issue. So when you're under acute stress, that our body get into fight or flight, and then when the stress is gone, our body get back to normal function. And when we talk about stress, there is good stress and bad stress. Only when bad thing happen that our body get into stress. When good thing happen, our body react and responds the same way as bad stress. So what is good stress? What is bad stress? Good stress is your, son or daughter is graduating from high school and you get excited, or your son or daughter getting married and you're planning for a wedding and you got really excited. Guess what? You may notice that you still can't sleep, you still can't eat. And some people to the point that they have gut dysfunction and having bowel movement issue. All of that, and even some cases, people may have increased their high blood pressure. And even though it's a good thing happening, you're wondering how come all these things happening to me because I don't have stress, or your excitement for this graduation or wedding is actually creating the stress. Your body responds the same way as though you got bad stress, like for example, your friends or family, somebody got really sick or got into accidents or, you got cut, etc. And that's the bad stress that you get into fight or flight. You got worry, you got anxiety, you got sleep issue. So either way, you got something good going on that is exciting, that you got so excited you got into stress response, or you got into accident, or somebody got into accident or sick, etc., and you got worry, and that get your emotional stress going on, and that started giving you physiological stress and affecting your whole physiological function. So the basic thing is I want to talk about gut tonight a little bit more than anything else, is that because when stress, chronic stress happen, when you got into fight or flight mode, our gut function is controlled by, automatic nervous system or sympathetic nervous system. But when you're under the stress, your sympathetic nervous system get into fight or flight mode. When it get into fight or flight mode chronically, what it does is that it will slow down or reduce the function of the your body that is not immediately needed for the fight or flight. So you're going to fight or you're going to run. If you're going to do that, you don't think about eating, right? You got to run for your life or you got to fight for your life. The food is the last thing that you're interested. And the body will reduce that digestive function because that take a lot of energy. And when you're trying to do the digestion, that energy will take it away from your arms and legs for fight and flight. So the brain will reduce those function so that it will be less energy expenditure for digestion and there's more energy for brain function, focus, and running or fighting. And that's why a lot of time also the other thing that your brain gonna do is that empty out any undigested food in your gut so it'll be lighten up the load in case if you have to run. So that's when a lot of people get diarrhea when they get stressed or they get too excited. Or it's gonna hold it up. And so with that, in the long run, when you got chronic stress and you're always in the fight or flight mode, then you start getting this digestive issue. Your digestive enzymes are not coming out properly. Your stomach acids are not coming out properly. So the first thing that happen is that if that happen with digestive juices are not coming out properly, the first thing that's going to happen is that your bacterial balance going to go out of balance because your stomach acid and stomach enzyme and stomach juices are actually first defense of balancing your bacteria in your gut. When that are not coming out properly, then your bacterial balance is going to go out of whack. And then the other thing is when you're in a lot of fight or flight mode and your stomach's not digesting properly, your body's going to demand quick sugar, simple carbohydrate for immediate energy so that the muscle can burn it. So you're going to end up eating more sugary stuff, eating more simple carbohydrate, and in turn, that's going to actually cause bad bacteria to grow feeding on the sugar. And you're not going to eat a lot of fiber because your stomach's not digesting, so you don't want a lot of fiber in there. And you don't have proper amount of fiber in there, so now your gut bacteria cannot grow properly. And then the other thing is, as you're not digesting properly and you're not eating proper food, with the fight or flight, your body's gonna make a lot more energy, gonna need a lot more energy. So you're gonna need a lot of nutrients for energy production. Simple carbohydrates gonna give you burst of energy, but it's not gonna give you sustainable energy. So later on, you're gonna get fatigue because your stomach's not digesting protein properly, your stomach's not digesting vegetables properly, and you're not eating those because you're not digesting properly. So when you eat it, you don't feel comfortable. You have discomfort in the stomach, so you stop eating, protein. You stop eating vegetables. You're gonna just eat food that your stomach's gonna easily able to digest and absorb the nutrients. And with that, in the long run, you're not getting protein as your building block for the muscle, and also you're not getting vitamins and minerals from the vegetable that your the whole energy production your body need to burn energy properly. And so in the long run, you're going to start feeling fatigue, you're going to start getting lightheadedness, nausea, etc. So when that happens, and when your energy are going down and your nutrients are not coming properly, the second thing that it's going to affect is your mood, because your brain neurochemicals are all need amino acid, which is from protein as a building block, and then need the enzyme, need the vitamins and minerals from your vegetables to make proper amount of brain neurochemicals, say serotonin, you know, GABA, dopamine for focus, all of that. So you're gonna start seeing short-term memory loss because you're not producing proper amount of dopamine anymore for the focus and memory, and you're not producing serotonin, so you're gonna get more anxious and you're gonna have more low mood, etc. And when you're not getting enough serotonin production, guess what? It's going to start affecting your sleep because serotonin is precursor for melatonin, which is your sleep hormone. At the same time, as you're into fight or flight all the time, your stress hormone cortisol keep pumping and pumping, your adrenaline keep pumping and pumping, and it's going to actually start affecting, and it's going to wake you up middle of the night and you can fall back asleep because your adrenaline's going, your cortisol's going, and your body think that you are in fight or flight mode, and so you don't want to sleep. You want to stay alert. But meantime, your body really need to sleep, but your brain is somehow in this fight or flight mode and keeping you awake. So those are a couple of things that you will notice immediately a few months after chronic stress. The easiest and the best way to start controlling the stress is trying to control the emotional response of stress by doing breathing, belly breathing, deep breathing. If you can do that, even 10 breath, taking a 10 deep breath a few times a day, that will actually calm your sympathetic nervous system down. Doing the belly breathing actually stimulate the vagus nerve in your stomach, which is the parasympathetic. So it's balancing out the sympathetic and calming effect. I'm sure many of us heard of people saying, when we get really hyper and we get really stressed, people say, take a deep breath. And that's literally is correct suggestion that we should take a deep breath so that our belly will come up. That will stimulate the vagus nerve. And you notice that when you do at least 10 deep breaths in and out, that actually calm your brain down, calm your sympathetic system down, calm your heart rate down. So what I suggest is, doing meditation or breathing exercise, and people say, I don't have time. That's fine. Then do 10 breaths, 3 to 4 times a day throughout the day, especially if you feel that you're getting stressed and you're getting anxious. Do the breathing exercise. For myself, every morning I do 15 minutes of meditation. I concentrate on breathing. I concentrate on, people say, oh, I can't concentrate to do meditation because my mind wander and other sound, sense, etc. distracts me. For me, that's fine. If you hear other sound, you concentrate on that sound. And, if you smell something, you concentrate on that smell. That's where meditation is. You don't have to be just, no, shut off your brain, shut off your mind. If anything distracting around you, you use that as your concentration point to meditate on. And do that, started as a few minutes, 5 minutes, and you gradually grow on it. You create consistency for yourself and do that. For me, I started meditating when COVID started because I was under a lot of stress already, and when COVID started, I got even under more stress at my pharmacy business and all these extra things that we have to do. So I intentionally every morning as I wake up, the first thing I did was meditation, and I keep doing it. Initially, I couldn't do it every day. I forget. Someday I got stressed and I gotta go. I don't have time, and so I leave. But as I am working at it every day intentionally, now every morning that's become a habit. As soon as I wake up, I put my headphone on. I meditate for 15 minutes before I start my day. And that kept me calm and get me better response to day-to-day stress rather than reacting it. I hope that this is helpful information. This is one of the easiest way to manage the stress. And I will come on and talk more about different health issue and effect that stress create and other uh, little suggestion how you can manage the stress better. I hope this is again helpful information. If you need some help from me, absolutely reach out to me. This is Dennis Wong coming from Winnipeg, and I'm grateful to serve.